Welcome back to Cheddar at Home, brought to you by Honeywell Home from Resideo, the leading provider of comfort and security solutions for the home.
When I was a kid, I was terrified of the basement for obvious reasons. But did you know there's a lot of really important stuff down here? So we're joined by Ryan from Resideo over at a normal, regular house that somebody might get as a starter home. And he's gonna show us the ins and outs of all the very important stuff that's down here. So Ryan, where exactly are we in the house and why is this place so important?
It's a good question, Baker. So we are in that basement room, that dark, dusty, dank room that nobody likes to go in.
Everybody avoids all the time.
I call it the mechanical room. Some people call it the utility room or the laundry room. This is really the heart of the home in terms of where all the mechanical equipment is housed. And this room is typically overlooked as first-time home buyers. Me, myself, my wife and I just bought a house about 2 months ago. Wife was looking at the countertops, the paint on the walls.
And you're like, where's the boiler room?
I know, and I went right down to the boiler room. Because this is really the heart of the home, like I said. And just like you and I, a healthy heart is critical for a healthy home. So all the mechanical equipment from air handlers to furnaces to this house actually has a boiler, hot water heaters are housed in this area right here of the house.
So on that note, explain a little bit about the differences of some of the equipment that we see in here.
Yeah, so Baker, this house actually has 2 heating systems. The first is an air handler, which actually controls the heating and cooling in the upstairs. And the second is actually a boiler, which provides heat through hydronic heating in the basement. So they do similar things by getting hot air, hot water to warm the rest of the house. They just do it through different modes or mechanisms.
And I'm sure a question that a lot of people wonder about, what's the difference between a boiler and a hot water heater?
Oh yeah, that's a great question. Sometimes, typically most houses don't have all 3 of these equipments, but some do have a boiler, some have a hot water heater. When you think of a boiler and you see this system, what I want you to think of is heating and cooling, okay? Really more so heating, where this is gonna heat up hot water and distribute it through pipes and radiators throughout the house. This water, you can't drink. You don't want to be drinking this, okay?
Right.
Hot water heater over here, this is where your drinking water is stored.
Right, this is the shower water.
Yep, exactly. So when you're taking a hot shower and it's, negative 20 degrees out and you want to get warm,
it's this.
It's this piece of equipment right here.
Now, I've heard of a bunch of different kinds of water heaters are out there on the market. What are the different ones that people can get?
So primarily, there are tank and tankless water heaters. So let's start with tankless.
Okay.
Tankless water heaters are kind of on-demand heating, where you're not actually storing water for it to be used, storing hot water, I should say. And a tank, which is what this is a tank unit. This is a reservoir or a tank of water that is continuously being heated to make sure that whenever someone turns on a faucet and needs hot water, that it's being pulled from this tank right here.
On a tankless heater, where's the water coming from? Where is it storing it?
Same thing, inlet of the house. It's just generating, similar to like an instant coffee maker or something like that. It's generating hot water on demand.
Ryan, what's the general maintenance for a lot of stuff in here?
So let's talk about this unit over here first.
Okay.
So whether you have a furnace or an air handler or an air exchanger, the number one thing if you have one of these units is actually changing the filter, and that's down here.
Okay.
Changing the filter on these units is really like changing the oil on your car. All you have to do that is you just usually pop off the cabinet here, and you can pull out this filter.
And how often should you be changing your filter?
It depends upon the filter. For this unit right here, which is a 4-inch filter, this can go from 6 to 12 months.
Okay.
If you have a smaller 1-inch filter, typically on average, it's about 3 months or so, but it really is dependent upon the house.
Okay.
Now moving from the air handler unit here, let's talk about the boiler.
Okay.
To maintain this properly, what you really want to do is you want to have some sort of service or contract agreement with your local contractor. They'll come in and do a checkup on this, just like going to the dentist, to make sure, once or twice a year that everything's working fine.
Okay. And then the hot water heater.
Hot water heater, really good general maintenance on this guy right here is you want to be draining this on an annual basis. That gets rid of all the sediments and build up hard water deposits and things like that that have built up in this over time.
Wow. So Ryan, I also see some additional stuff back here. What's this stuff and what do they do?
All right, let's go back here and take a look at it. So these 2 pieces of equipment are really part of a humidification control solution, okay?
Okay.
This guy on the top here is a whole house humidifier. So in the winter, when it's really cold and dry outside and in the house, you're gonna be wanting to run this thing to provide humidification to the house.
Interesting.
This guy down here is actually kind of the opposite of
it's the dehumidifier.
It's a dehumidifier. So in the summer, down in the basement, when it gets kind of musty and dank, you want to be running this to remove that moisture from the air and remove some of the smells.
And what's this guy? This is interesting.
Yeah, this is actually a UV light. It's a UVC germicidal light. It's the same thing that really dentists use, hospitals use to clean surfaces through UV light radiation. And what this does is it actually zaps kind of all of the the bacteria, mold, the bugs that are kind of in the air to make sure it's providing clean air throughout the house.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Ryan, how do you guys over at Residio kind of work with a lot of first-time home buyers to kind of customize and retrofit a lot of this stuff for a lot of older homes?
Yeah, that's a really good question, Baker. We at Resideo provide comfort solutions to the homeowner in a modular, piecewise way. So if you don't have the most up-to-date system, you can at least then slowly over time customize it to get to your needs. And for example, this house actually here has a leak detector to ensure if there's any leaks either in this mechanical room, through the water heater, that the homeowner's notified. So by providing products, we're trying to empower the homeowner to take control of their house, but then also provide them the comfort solutions that they need.
Which is great because you can kind of start small and over time start to get more pieces, because this stuff adds up after a while. It gets kind of expensive.
Absolutely, yeah. And just maintaining it in general is hard enough. But yeah, to be able to piecewise it and customize it to your needs, your desires, because every home's different, everyone is different, they may want different things. We provide that through kind of our full product HVAC offering.
Ryan, thanks for showing us all the important stuff down here. We'll have a lot more Cheddar at Home right after this.